Chapter 2961. Since I've offended you, I'll offend you to death. The luck of the ice and fire grass was cut off, but its consciousness was not cut off. It got rid of the conversion control of the Buddhist lich and wanted to rush out of the skeleton hell. It burst out with amazing cold air, and even the hell magma was almost frozen. How could Lin Moyu let it do what it wanted? The eye of hell brought a strong soul shock, and it went to see a doctor. The huge body of the ice and fire grass trembled violently, and it was obviously uncomfortable. The luck was greatly weakened, and coupled with the influence of the red spider lily, the strength of the ice and fire grass at this time had fallen from the 5th realm of the Daozun, and at most it was equivalent to the 4th realm of the Daozun. A hazy long river appeared in front of the Buddhist lich, and the road of destiny was opened, evolving the long river of destiny. The Buddhist lich found the weakest point of the ice and fire grass in the long river of destiny and punched it. This punch hit the future ice and fire grass, but all the damage broke out on the ice and fire grass in front of it. The ice and fire grass screamed immediately, and its body trembled even more violently. One punch was enough to seriously injure it. Its body, which had just rushed out of the hell magma, fell again. The originally crazy cold air also disappeared quickly at this moment. The hell magma recovered, and the hell zone spirits took the opportunity to start gnawing again. "What did you do?" It roared, and its body erupted like a volcano, spewing countless flames, repelling all the hell evil spirits. The strong flames collided with the hell magma, setting off endless waves. In the eternal Buddhist kingdom of the Buddhist lich, a large number of believers sacrificed themselves, and the power of the Korean demon increased. The 5 halos behind him shone, and the Buddhist lich threw the second punch in the long river of fate. Boom! The body of the ice and fire grass exploded silently, and the erupting flames suddenly stagnated. Under the second punch, it was more seriously injured, and its breath obviously dropped. Lin Moyu saw dozens of huge wounds on its body, some of which were very hideous and terrifying, piercing through from front to back. The huge body was already riddled with holes, but these wounds were recovering quickly. The vitality of plant creatures is really strong. Lin Moyu thought in his heart. This was not the first time he had dealt with plant creatures. In terms of vitality, plant creatures are indeed very strong and difficult to kill. This is also recognized by all practitioners. Members of the 100 Herbs Alliance are not easy to kill. But they have to be killed even if they are not easy to kill. The ice and fire grass tried to get rid of the skeleton hell twice in a row, but failed each time. The third time, ice and fire burst out all over its body at the same time. The power of ice and fire collided, and the powerful force almost shattered the skeleton hell. At this time, the Buddha Kingdom lich landed the third punch. The long river of fate set off huge waves, and the breath of the ice and fire grass that had just risen was extinguished again. He failed the third time as well. After 3 punches, the destiny road of the Buddha Kingdom lich disappeared, and the magic ended. Lin Moyu snapped his fingers, and in an instant, flames filled the sky, and skeleton thrones spread all over the world. 3,000 skeleton kings appeared at the same time. They were as high as 1,000 meters, even bigger than the ice and fire grass. They were wearing armor, and the flame cloaks behind them were rustling. As Lin Moyu was promoted to Daozun 2nd level, Skeleton King has already entered Daozun 4th level, but he has just entered Daozun 4th level. 3,000 skeleton kings came on the field at the same time, resonating with each other and amplifying each other, raising the power of Skeleton King to another level, which is considered powerful even in Daozun 4th level. Skeleton kings raised bone swords at the same time and cut down. Dao magic, blood kill. This magic, in addition to the combat power of Skeleton King itself, has a special effect. Burn the target's blood and attack the target. The stronger the target's blood, the greater the power of blood kill. Qi and blood do not necessarily refer to flesh and blood. The real core of Qi and blood is actually life history. Undoubtedly, the vitality of the ice and fire grass is strong, so the power of blood killing is also very considerable. The sword light lit up, and the ice and fire grass screamed immediately. The body that was already riddled with holes now had a lot of wounds. The sword light lit up all over the body, and each sword light detonated its qi and blood, causing terrible damage. The breath of the ice and fire grass declined sharply, and it fell directly from the 4th realm of Daozun. The magma fire river suddenly erupted, with a violent impact, knocking the ice and fire grass away. The direction in which the ice and fire grass was knocked away was exactly the direction of the nether black pool. The nether black pool turned rapidly, and the big head of the nether black dragon poked out from it. Before the ice and fire grass could react, the nether black dragon suddenly opened its mouth and bit the ice and fire grass. With the sound of chewing, 1/3 of the body of the ice and fire grass was directly bitten off. At this point, the ice and fire grass had no power to resist. The skeleton king surrounded it, and the bone sword chopped it down like chopping meat and vegetables, trying to cut the ice and fire grass into pieces. The ice and fire grass had no power to resist, and the only fate waiting for it was death. Lin Moyu did not relax his vigilance. After all, the ice and fire grass was the incarnation of the leader of the Baikao Alliance, and he might have some other means. That kind of existence was not what he could imagine. A voice with resentment sounded, "I have remembered you, no matter who you are, you must die." The voice echoed in this space like a curse. Then, a roar sounded. Ice and fire collided again, causing a violent explosion, and the skeleton kings were blown away one after another. The ice and fire grass, which was almost shattered, burst into ice and fire all over its body. This was its last strength. The collision of the power of ice and fire became more and more intense, and the entire skeleton hell was crumbling. Lin Moyu's heart moved, and he put away the skeleton hell. Then the skeleton king surrounded the ice and fire grass, and he retreated at the same time to prevent it from self-destructing. Amid the roar of ice and fire, a storm of ice and fire rushed straight into the sky, and the shadow of the ice and fire grass appeared in the air. And I appeared in the shadow, looking at Lin Moyu with resentment. Lin Moyu's heart was a little scared. He knew that he was being targeted by the leader of the Baikao Alliance. But now, he had no choice. The resentful look lasted for 2 seconds, and the shadow of the ice and fire grass exploded, and the whole space shook. The ice and fire grass turned into powder with the explosion. Lin Moyu's eyes were cold. "Since we are already mortal enemies, let's do it." He locked a position and chased after it quickly. In the last explosion just now, there was an insignificant light, flying towards Yuan Fei. This Jiao Li Jiao action was very secretive. If Lin Moyu's spiritual sense was not sharp enough and he had been on guard against the ice and fire grass, he would not have discovered it at all. He thought of the secret method of the leader, the reincarnation of spiritual plants. The ice and fire grass seemed to have turned into powder, but in fact, it was already dead. Maybe it will be reborn at some time. The body of the ice and fire grass is a special material from outside the origin continent. As long as this material is still there, the leader of the Baikao Alliance can refine the clone again. For that kind of existence, refining a clone is not difficult. Lin Moyu felt that since he had offended him to death, he would continue to offend him to death. He wanted this material. As for the future, let's talk about it in the future. He didn't have no trump card. If the one from the Baikao Alliance really came to kill him, he would make him pay the price. The corpse of the Azuan Jiujing, combined with the origin technique, ancestral water, the power of faith, and the explosion of the corpse, he was not so easy to kill.
Chapter 2962 The Powerful Insect Queen. Lin Moyu didn't care whether the leader used a spiritual plant to reincarnate or not. He just believed that the thing that escaped in the end must be taken by himself. Even if it was a piece of trash, it had to be in his hands. Relying on his spiritual sense, Lin Moyu tracked all the way, crossed the ice volcano, and turned over a large ancient forest. He ran 100,000 kilometers in one breath and finally found the place where the other party landed. It was the top of an iceberg, and the thing that escaped fell there. When they were still hundreds of miles away, Lin Moyu could already clearly feel the other party's breath. Looking from a distance, he saw that the top of the iceberg, which should have been flawless, had a picture of something. This thing was emitting a faint light, and the iceberg was pure without impurities, so it was particularly conspicuous. Lin Moyu rushed over quickly, climbed over the iceberg, and saw the appearance of this thing clearly. This was a seed the size of a baby's fist, and it was also the seed that the leader of the Baikao Alliance obtained from outer space. The seed was symmetrical on the left and right, and looked like a peanut. One side was red, belonging to fire. The other side was light blue, belonging to ice. This is a strange ice and fire seed. Lin Moyu can feel that the power contained in the ice and fire seed, whether it is ice or fire, is extremely pure and powerful. The leader used this strange ice and fire seed to refine 577 into ice and fire grass and evolve it into his own clone. Lin Moyu did not take the ice and fire seed immediately, but opened the eye of the dead. A faint soul flame appeared in his sight. The soul flame seems weak, but its essence is extremely powerful. It is like a tiny piece of iron, although small, but hard enough. The soul flame came from the leader. After all, the ice and fire seed was once its clone, and it is normal to leave some soul. With this little soul, it can do a lot of things. For example, let the ice and fire seed become its clone again, or when you pick up the ice and fire seed, it can attack your soul and even take over your body. After all, he is in existence beyond the 9th realm of Daozuan, and all kinds of secret methods are normal. Suddenly, Lin Moyu looked up at the sky, moved his feet, and quickly retreated. The originally calm space suddenly twisted and stirred, and a huge crack was torn open. Then a giant centipede-like insect rushed out of the crack and headed straight for the ice and fire seeds. Lin Moyu was not expecting the sudden appearance of the insect mother. And the insect mother was not coming for him, her target was the ice and fire seeds. The insect mother, who had already escaped, suddenly returned because of the ice and fire seeds. This made Lin Moyu wonder if the insect mother was also related to the Baichao alliance. He would naturally not let the mother get the ice and fire seeds. With a finger, the skeleton hell appeared instantly. Countless hellish spirits pounced on the insect mother, and at the same time, the skeleton hell swallowed the ice and fire seeds into the magma river. The insect mother was a step late and failed to get the ice and fire seeds, and screamed. Thousands of eyes suddenly appeared on its back, and thousands of eyes fell on Lin Moyu at the same time. In the empty eyes, with huge power, Lin Moyu only felt a roar in his soul, his vision was blurred, and the whole person retreated unconsciously. In the soul world, the world tree was shaking wildly. The world tree was originally spread all over the soul world. Under this impact, a huge hole was knocked out in the soul world, and many branches in the world tree broke. Soul attack is illusory, but real. Fortunately, after this attack broke through the defense of the soul world, the power was not strong, and it did not really cause damage to the soul, but only caused the soul to shake. Lin Moyu's consciousness was confused for only a moment before he came back to his senses, with murderous intent in his eyes. He did not expect that the insect mother who had desperately escaped when she saw him before, actually had such a powerful soul attack ability. This attack is enough to kill most of the Daozuan 3rd realm strongmen, even the Daozuan 4th realm will be severely injured. Once the soul is severely injured, it may fall into a coma at best, or die at worst. The space around him was distorted, and Zhao Dong and the great sword Dao Zun appeared at the same time. When they appeared, they immediately unfolded their true bodies. The great sword Dao Zun turned into a giant sword and cut through the sky. Zhao Dongxing turned into a strange spirit beast. This spirit beast has a round body and looks cute and adorable. It has a long combat experience. Lin Moyu has never seen such a spirit beast, but since Zhao Dongxing did this, there must be a reason. The spirit beast that Zhao Dongxing turned into suddenly opened its mouth and called out. The call was the same as its appearance, without any deterrent power. But in the call, the space suddenly became stable, and it was not ordinary stability. Lin Moyu felt that the whole space seemed to be sealed with steel, and it would not be so easy to break it again. It would not be as easy for the insect mother to tear the space apart as before. As soon as Zhao Dongxing made his move, he directly cut off the retreat of the insect mother. The sword light of the giant sword Dao Zun was already approaching, and the thousands of big eyes on the insect mother looked at the giant sword Dao Zun at the same time. Thousands of lights shot out from the eyes, and the giant sword transformed by the giant sword Dao Zun was shaken away. Lin Moyu frowned slightly. This insect mother, is the combat power so strong? Being able to repel the great Dao true body of the giant sword Dao Zun means that the combat power of the insect mother has reached at least the 6th level of the Dao Zun. But the feeling that the insect mother gave him was not so strong. The real scary thing about the insect mother should be its weirdness, that it can manipulate the power of the void, and can produce sub-insects. Rather than its own combat power, otherwise it should not have turned around and fled when it saw him for the first time. But now, let alone this. The combat power of the insect mother is extremely strong, reaching the 6th level of the Dao Zun. The giant sword Dao Zun killed back again, and the thousands of eyes on the mother's body continuously shot out a stream of light, making it difficult for the giant sword Dao Zun to approach. After Zhao Dongsheng stabilized the space, he re-evolved his true body and turned into a mantis-like spirit beast, waving a pair of sharp blades and killing. In the Wanling Dao, Zhao Dongsheng has various incarnations. In fact, his combat power is not as good as that of the giant sword Daozuan, but he is more adaptable and adaptable. The insect mother shot out rays of light at Zhao Dongsheng, but they were all cut off by Zhao Dongkai's feet. Zhao Dongsheng broke through the blockade and killed the insect mother. The 1,000 big feet of the insect mother grew longer at the same time, flashing with sharp light. Thousands of giant feet, like thousands of extremely sharp magic weapons, forced Zhao Dongsheng back. Zhao Dongsheng and the giant sword Daozuan joined forces to besiege the insect mother, but they did not gain any advantage. Instead, they were suppressed by the mother. Lin Moyu felt more and more strange as he watched. It shouldn't be like this. This is different from the feeling he had when he first saw the insect mother. Lin Moyu believes in his feelings very much. There must be something wrong. What's going on? Thinking in his heart, the space around him twisted, and the thunder-purple striped tiger rushed out and joined the battle. This thunder-purple striped tiger was brought to him by Lei Guang that year, and was rarely used outside. In any case, it is also the combat power of the 6th realm of Dao Zun, and its strength is strong. Thunder roared, and lightning fell from the sky. Thousands of eyes of the insect mother shot out infinite light, and the lightning blocked it. 3 Dao Zun 6 realms besieged it, but it was still difficult to gain an advantage. Suddenly, the skeleton hell trembled, and the magma fire river erupted like a volcano, spewing out huge waves. The ice and fire seeds flew out from it, bursting with powerful power, breaking away from the skeleton hell, and flying towards the minister mother. You can read more daily new novels on Fiction Zone. Net. Both sites shared the same login details, so you don't need to sign up again.
Chapter 2963, The Insect Queen is Parasitic, the Unlucky Taoist. The ice and fire seeds flew towards the insect mother at an astonishing speed. Lin Moyu's heart moved, and Zhao Dongsheng and the other 2 turned to intercept. But the insect mother suddenly screamed, and a powerful soul shock swept like a huge wave, and the 3 people stopped for a moment. In this moment, the ice and fire seeds had passed the 3 people and drilled into the mouth of the mother. Lin Moyu didn't know why the insect mother suddenly came to snatch the ice and fire seeds, but now seeing the ice and fire seeds flying towards the insect mother, he suddenly understood. This insect mother is not what the 3rd ancestor said. It is not the special pet of the outer god. This insect mother should be related to the leader of the Baikao Alliance. Therefore, there is no disgust from the avenue. Why can the ice and fire grass find the root here quickly? This insect mother is the nail left here by the leader of the Baikao Alliance. This insect mother has the ability of space. Maybe the space channel is made by this mother. This insect mother has too many abilities, which opened Lin Moyu's eyes. What exactly is he going to do? Is it just for the ice and fire Dao stone? The chess piece he played has been hidden in the ice and fire secret treasure for so many years. He must have a plan, and it is not a plan. Originally, this time, the ice and fire grass entered the secret treasure, which should have been an extremely important chess move, but it was destroyed by himself. So the leader of the Baikao Alliance must regard him as a mortal enemy. But Lin Moyu did not regret it. If it happened again, he would still do it. The insect mother is now tied with the three people and neither side can do anything to the other. But Lin Moyu knows that Zhao Dongxing's previous time to block the space is limited. When the time is up, the mother will definitely escape. Waving the immortal flame, 3,000 skeleton kings appeared at the same time, and the mother in the plaque was surrounded. Although the combat power of the skeleton king is only the fourth realm of Daozuan, the mother's blood is very strong, and the skeleton king's Dao magic is enough to cause some damage to the insect mother. What's more, the bone swords in their hands are sharp enough. Even if the damage of each sword is negligible, it can at least have a restraining effect. Buddha's voices came and the Buddha demon appeared beside him. At this time, the Buddha Lich could not use the great Tao of destiny for the time being. It only used the art of conversion to influence the insect mother. Lin Moyu's body became hazy and he used the true body of the great Tao of luck. Two swords of luck, one black and one white, appeared at the same time and instantly fell on the insect mother. The insect mother screamed in resentment. Her luck was weakened, which would affect her combat power. After a few sword strikes, Lin Moyu realized that the insect mother's luck was not connected to the leader of the Baikao Alliance, proving that it was an independent individual, not the incarnation of the leader of the Baikao Alliance. This feeling was completely different from the previous ice and fire grass. However, while weakening the insect mother's luck, Lin Moyu's brows were getting tighter and tighter. He discovered that although the insect mother's luck was not connected to the leader of the Baikao Alliance, it was connected to countless people. After some thinking, Lin Moyu suddenly realized that he had found the root of why the insect mother was so powerful. The reason why the insect mother became so powerful was because it began to harvest the insects it released. Over the countless years, the mother didn't know how many worms she had released and how many Daozuns she had parasitized. There was a special connection between the worms and the mother. On weekdays, the worms absorbed power at an extremely slow speed and passed it to the mother in a special way. But when the mother needed huge power, the way the worms absorbed power would change, becoming fast and fierce. Lin Moyu suddenly realized that the mother must have given the worms an order to let them absorb power quickly. And it used these powers to tie with Zhao Dong and the other two. Because the worms absorbed power and supplied it to the mother, they unknowingly formed a connection between their luck. Lin Moyu knew that the outside world must have been in chaos. Once the worms really started to absorb power, the Daozuns who were parasitized would have a hard time. And Lin Moyu also had a headache, because when the mother absorbed power, she also absorbed the luck of these Daozuns. In other words, he had to deal with the luck of so many Daozuns at the same time. Even if he killed 1,000 enemies and lost 200 of his own consumption was too great. Fortunately, there is still the poisonous sword, which can at least slowly wear away its luck. Think of another way to see how to kill it. I hope those Daozuns of Lufeng Chamber of Commerce can hold on. In Dongju Mall, Lufeng Chamber of Commerce headquarters, the power of those Daozuns who were parasitized began to drain away in large quantities. Their aura was gradually decreasing, and the speed was much faster than before. The soul of each Daozu was hurt. Lu Lian immediately activated the formation to help these Daozuns heal their wounds, but the effect was not satisfactory. It could only delay, but could not stop. She gathered this matter to the three ancestors, and the three ancestors had no good solution, so they could only wait. In Beiju, many demon Daozuns groaned at the same time and lost their consciousness. Their power was draining away, and their souls were also hurt at the same time. This change attracted the attention of the demon clan's high-level officials. In less than a few minutes, this matter had reached the ears of the real controller of the demon clan. Lin Moyu could feel that the luck of the insect mother was gradually decreasing. It was just that the speed of decline was very slow. For every 3 points of decline, 2 points of luck would be added. These lucks came from the Dao masters that were parasitized by it. Lin Moyu continued to use the sword of luck to weaken the luck of the insect mother. Although the effect was average and it also damaged his own luck, it was the best way at present. Otherwise, Lin Moyu could only use his trump card to deal with the insect mother. The corpse explosion was impossible to move, and this was the last trump card. Lin Moyu did not want to use the origin technique with the immortal pill of the Great Tao. He knew that behind the insect mother was the leader of the Baikao Alliance, and Lin Moyu did not want to expose his trump card. 0-0 As long as the trump card was still there, he had the possibility of saving his life and killing in reverse. Once the trump card was exposed, the other party was ready, and he had no chance. So Lin Moyu would rather choose the stupid method of killing 1,000 enemies and losing 200 of himself, rather than using the trump card. Under the Sword of Luck, the fighting power of the Insect Mother was weakened and the balance was broken. Zhao Dongsheng and the other two cooperated with the Skeleton King and gradually gained the upper hand. The Insect Mother was obviously anxious. It kept screaming and further absorbed external power. Due to the restrictions of the Ice and Fire secrets, the strongest Daozuan who entered here was only the 6th realm. There is a huge difference between the 6th realm and the 7th realm. No matter how many 6th realm Daozuan the Insect Mother parasitizes, it is impossible to obtain the power of the 7th realm Daozuan. Therefore, the highest power that the Insect Mother can exert is the 6th realm of Daozuan. Under Lin Moyu's continuous weakening, the power of the Insect Mother has dropped to the edge of the 6th realm. However, this is also the limit, because the Insect Mother has too many parasites. Lin Moyu knows that it cannot be weakened further. If the Sword of Luck is continued, although the fighting power of the Insect Mother can be further weakened, the cost-effectiveness is already extremely low, and this deal is no longer cost-effective. Lin Moyu does not want to do a loss-making business. With a thought in his mind, the explosive luck technique exploded. Boom! The explosion sounded from the Insect Mother's body, and the Insect Mother screamed, and a large number of wounds appeared on her huge body. Under the explosive luck technique, the Insect Mother suffered some damage. At this time, a ball of flames ignited from the Insect Mother's body, and the wounds healed in the flames. Then the Insect Mother put on a layer of ice armor. Lin Moyu frowned, knowing that the Ice and Fire seeds were causing trouble. The Baikao Alliance controlled the Ice and Fire seeds to help the Insect Mother fight.
Chapter 2964 Ku Rong, you are seeking death with the help of the Ice and Fire seeds. The Worm Mother was like a god, her breath quickly recovered, and she tied with Zhao Dongsheng and the other two again. The Worm Mother has countless parasites, which can continuously absorb power, and she is not afraid of consumption at all. Lin Moyu's face sank slightly. It seems that it is not a solution to fight like this. He could already feel that the space sealed by Zhao Dongsheng was gradually weakening. When the space is restored, the mother will definitely escape. It has been operating here for many years. If it escapes, it will be difficult to catch it again. Use the trump card. Lin Moyu's eyes were hesitant, and then became firm. It can't be used. It's not time to use the trump card yet. If you don't use the trump card, how can you deal with this tricky guy? With a thought in his mind, the Skeleton King surrounded him at all costs, completely disregarding his own safety, and began to fight desperately. At the same time, the Dragon Rider Corps appeared. Hundreds of Dragon Rider Corps, more than 1 billion Dragon Riders, led by the Corps Commander, 670, surrounded the entire space. The Insect Mother is powerful. Although it is surrounded, it is not afraid at all. Every time it sweeps and turns, a large number of Dragon Riders will die. But it is not so easy for it to rush out. Lin Moyu took out a large number of origin crystals, all of which are exquisite 7th level origin crystals. He began to arrange the formation, and pieces of origin crystals flew out and fell to various designated positions. The Insect Mother was surrounded and had no idea what Lin Moyu was doing. Lin Moyu arranged the formation at the fastest speed. The space was gradually loosening. Zhao Dongsheng obviously could not transform into that cute spirit beast again and could not stabilize the space again. Lin Moyu arranged the formation faster and faster. At this moment, he did not pursue perfection, but only speed. He did not use the method of combining the two formations of talismans and instruments, but directly chose to arrange the instrument formation. In this way, at least 1/3 of the time can be saved. Now for Lin Moyu, every second cannot be wasted. He can feel that the space is loosening, and the mother seems to have sensed it and becomes more and more excited. Screams continue to come, becoming more and more piercing. The Dragon Riders didn't know how many casualties they had suffered. Lin Moyu didn't care about it at all. He believed that the commander of the corps would handle it. Finally, half an hour later, the formation was finally set up. At this moment, the space was completely loose, and the previous blockade was about to disappear. Lin Moyu's body became half real and half virtual, and the true body of the great Tao of space was activated. Formation up! Lin Moyu shouted in a low voice, and the great Tao of space emerged, sprinkling the power of the great Tao to activate the formation. Activating the formation with the great Tao of space makes the formation more powerful. When the formation is activated, the origin crystals are connected into one, and countless lines are outlined between heaven and earth. The entire formation covers 1,000 miles. In this area, the lines are densely intertwined, weaving a large net. The loose space suddenly stabilized, not only stable, but even more solid than before. This formation has reached the 7th level, called the Sealing Dragon Prison Formation. Not only can it block space, but it can also block pushes in a physical sense. If the insect mother was not stopped by anyone, she could break through the formation and escape. But now, the dragon riders, Skeleton King, and Zhao Dongxing surrounded it, and it couldn't escape at all. The excited scream just now turned into resentment. The insect mother knew that she was trapped again and became more and more crazy. Lin Moyu sneered, "Go crazy as much as you want, you don't have much time." He took out a large number of origin crystals again and began to arrange the formation again. This time the formation is more complicated, and it is a combination of the weapon and the symbol. While throwing the origin crystal, Lin Moyu drew runes and interpreted the formation with runes. This time, the formation that Lin Moyu wants to arrange is still the 7th level, called the Sky-Splitting Killing Formation, which belongs to the killing formation of the Space Avenue and is very suitable for it. The 7th level formation is not enough to deal with the insect mother, but Lin Moyu's formation is a combination of the weapon and the symbol, so there is a basis for dealing with the insect mother. And Lin Moyu has already thought about it, he has a backup. He once bought a complete formation data from the Lufeng Chamber of Commerce. This formation data records some of the formations on the origin continent. There are formations from the 1st level to the 8th level, but most of them are single formations, either weapon formations or symbol formations. In order to complete the combination of the weapon and the symbol, he needs to analyze the formation, either through the weapon formation, he can outline the corresponding symbol formation. Or he can arrange the corresponding car through the symbol formation. For other formation masters, this is quite difficult. But it was not difficult for Lin Moyu. He had an unparalleled talent in formations and runes, and his learning and understanding abilities were not comparable to those of ordinary people. The coverage of the Sky-Splitting Killing Formation exceeded 2,000 kilometers, enough to cover the entire battlefield. This time, Lin Moyu arranged it neither hurriedly nor slowly. He wanted to ensure that the formation was perfect enough and exerted its due power 100% to kill the insect mother. The existence of the Sky-Sealing Dragon Prison Formation had stabilized the space, giving Lin Moyu enough time. In the far north, in the Demon King's palace, a huge and hazy figure sat on the throne. He was the Demon King, the only master in the hearts of all the demons. His words were orders in the demons, and no one dared to disobey them. In front of him, thousands of demon Daozuan fell to the ground and were unconscious. A large number of demon Daozuan were being sent over later, and the number was still increasing. A large number of demon Daozuan were unconscious at the same time, which was a big deal in the demons, and these people were immediately sent here. The figure of the Demon King was hazy, and he cast a spell on the unconscious demon Daozuan. These demon Daozuan glowed at the same time, and at this time a magic weapon appeared in the palm of the Demon King, which was shaped like a pagoda. The pagoda absorbed the light of these demon Daozuan, and then suddenly shot out 2 cold lights. The cold light went straight to the sky, one went to the ice and fire's secret treasure, and the other went to Shizhou. The Demon King snorted coldly, "Ku Rong, you are so brave." In the mall, 160 unconscious Daozuan were in the formation. The formation provided power to these Daozuan, slowing down the speed of their souls being injured. But the souls were still injured. Everyone knew that these Daozuan were basically useless. If they wanted to recover, they had to use drugs like Dao Tong's Hodan. But there were too many Dao Tong's Hodan. The space was distorted, and the shadow of the master appeared here. 012109217180480490, Lu Lian said, before, the bug didn't move, so we couldn't check anything. Now that these bugs are moving, we can sense them. They should use a special method to pass on the absorbed power. The third ancestor looked solemn, used the causal sword to check who is behind it. Lu Lian nodded, and a sword appeared in his hand. This sword is very strange, it is hollow in the middle, and there are no blades on both sides. The causal sword is not long and should be very light, but Lu Lian held the causal sword, but it was like holding a mountain of billions of pounds, and it was obviously a bit difficult. Lu Lian walked into the formation and stabbed one of the Daozuan with the causal sword. The causal sword sank into the body of the Daozuan, but there was no wound. Lu Lian stabbed each Daozuan once, and every time he stabbed, a light would light up in the empty space in the center of the causal sword. Then, Lu Lian activated the causal sword, and the causal sword immediately shot out a beam of light. The light exploded in the air, splitting into two, one heading north and one heading west. The third ancestor's eyes were gloomy. Ku Rong, you are seeking death. Chapter 2965 I won't give you a chance. The sky-splitting killing formation was gradually arranged, and the entire process lasted a whole day. Among the formations that Lin Moyu had arranged, this one took the longest time. The 7th level formation, the combination of the instrument and the symbol, was not an easy task even for Lin Moyu. When the formation was arranged, the nodes of the formation were connected to each other, and the calculation of the position of each node required a lot of energy. In particular, the drawing of the symbol formation had to be extremely accurate. A day later, the formation was finally truly formed. Lin Moyu glanced at the battlefield. Success or failure, this is the end. The Great Space Avenue emerged, and it was driven by the true body of the Great Space Avenue, pushing the power of the Great Space Avenue to the extreme. He mastered the Great Space Avenue and could have used the power of space to strangle the enemy. Unfortunately, every time he encountered an enemy, he was either too strong or too weak, leaving him with almost no room for the Great Space Avenue. This time, using the formation, he could fully exert the power of the Great Space Avenue. The Great Space Avenue sprinkled infinite power, the formation was activated, and the entire formation was shrouded in a huge power of space. The sky-splitting killing formation is a pure killing formation. The moment the formation is activated, the entire space within a radius of 2,000 miles is shaking. A large crack appears in the space, and these cracks 17 interweave into a fine net, leaving no gaps for escape. A killing formation looks like a killing formation. Each formation has a different function. As a killing formation, its function is to kill the enemy and not let go of any enemy in the formation. Lin Moyu's mind moved, and the Undead Legion and Zhao Dongsua and others withdrew. This world became clean almost instantly, leaving only the Insect Mother and Lin Moyu. The Insect Mother, who was being besieged and surrounded, suddenly found that her vision became brighter, and her enemies suddenly disappeared. The Insect Mother's thousands of eyes looked at Lin Moyu at the same time. After fighting for a whole day, the Insect Mother's aura was still strong. Countless Dao Zuns continuously provided power to the Insect Mother, and it didn't care about consumption at all. It turned its huge body, and the pair of huge eyes on its head looked at Lin Moyu with doubts in its eyes. It was puzzled by Lin Moyu's actions. Why did he stop fighting just because he said he would not fight? Suddenly, its eyes shrank sharply, and its pupils narrowed into a line. It saw that the space in front of Lin Moyu was breaking. It was not the correct kind of breaking, but the space was being shattered. This made it feel dangerous. Even if it had the ability to cut the space, it could only be done in an orderly manner. But the space breaking now was disorderly and chaotic, and extremely dangerous. Not only it, Lin Moyu could also feel the breaking of space. The power of the Great Way of Space is to break the space and use the broken space to strangle the enemy. But how much damage the broken space can cause depends on how deep one's understanding of the Great Way of Space is and to what extent the space is broken. In his opinion, the entire space is like countless pieces of paper, stacked together to form a thick space. Space is not just one layer, but countless layers. If one's strength can only tear a few pieces of paper, then the strength is too weak. If my power is enough to tear all the piled papers into pieces, then my power is strong enough to cause great damage to the enemy. If I could only tear 10 pieces of paper before, then the sky-splitting killing formation can tear thousands of pieces of paper, and its power is hundreds of times stronger than mine. Moreover, the sky-splitting formation does not require any understanding of the great Tao of space. It is purely using brute force to tear the space apart. And the worm mother was able to cut the space apart before, which was actually passing through the pieces of paper. When the space is torn to pieces, it will also be injured, or even killed. The great Tao of space continues to sprinkle the power of the great Tao, and the power of the sky-splitting killing formation is getting stronger and stronger. The space covered by the formation began to collapse from the outside to the inside. The entire space was completely shattered. The worm mother's hair stood up all over her body. She rushed to the edge of the formation frantically and collided with the broken space with her sharp middle foot. There was no violent movement. At the moment of collision, the worm mother's sharp feet were silently broken. In an instant, the mother lost dozens of sharp feet. It screamed and fled back, not daring to touch the broken space again. Lin Moyu saw this scene and smiled with satisfaction. It seems that the effect is very good. The 7th level formation is enough to kill the worm mother. What's more, the double formation of the instrument and talisman used by Lin Moyu makes the power of the 7th level formation close to the 8th level, at least the peak of the 7th level. Even if the 7th level of Dao Zun enters it, it may not be able to come out alive. In addition, this is a space-type formation, which uses the avenue of space to drive it, and its power is stronger. The speed of space breaking is getting faster and faster, and the range is shrinking, leaving less and less space for the mother to move. The worm mother trembled uneasily, and it wanted to cut the space into pieces again and again to escape from here. But this space was first reinforced by the seal of the Sealing Dragon Prison formation, and now it was disrupted by the Split Sky Killing formation. The space here was completely messed up. It couldn't cut the space apart or escape. The Split Sky Killing formation was getting smaller and smaller, and the insect mother seemed to know that she couldn't jump out. The thousands of eyes on its body closed, all the legs were retracted, and the huge body shrank into a ball. A raging flame suddenly burned on its body, and at the bottom of the flame was a thick ice shell. Ice and fire can counteract each other, but they can also generate each other. With the help of the ice and fire seeds, the insect mother gave herself the most powerful defense. Under the ice shell, there was the insect mother's own shell. Lin Moyu felt that the power of the insect mother was constantly condensing and strengthening. It had to make a final resistance and try to survive from the broken space. Good idea, there is indeed a chance if you do this. But I won't give you a chance. Lin Moyu took out 230 ancestral water that had not been used for a long time, and 10 drops at a time. Ancestral water is a thing that can be used up if you use 1 drop less. Lin Moyu is the type who would rather not use it. Now, he was very generous and used 10 drops of ancestral water. The 10 drops of ancestral water exploded, turned into clouds and mist, and merged into the sky-splitting killing formation. Then, hundreds of millions of faith powers burned fiercely, turning into invisible giant forces that fell on the sky-splitting killing formation. The dual blessing of ancestral water and faith power made the power of the sky-splitting killing formation increase sharply. Although nothing could be seen on the surface, Lin Moyu could clearly feel that the power of the sky-splitting killing formation had at least doubled. At this time, the power of the sky-splitting killing formation was completely comparable to the 8th level formation. Even the 7th level ancestor would be in danger of death when facing the current sky-splitting killing formation. The insect mother seemed to have sensed that the sky-splitting killing formation had been strengthened. It became more uneasy and let out a low roar. But now, all it could do was to resist with all its strength. It didn't know whether it could survive in the end. The space continued to break and collapse, and finally it fell on it. The flames shattered along with the space, and then the ice shell on its body also shattered in a breath. Then it was the shell of the insect mother. Facing the sky-splitting killing formation, the shell only resisted for less than 2 seconds and was shattered one after another. The shell of the insect mother was strong enough to last for 2 seconds under the sky-splitting killing formation. Once the shell was broken, the secondary sky-splitting killing formation began to strangle its body. The insect mother let out a shrill scream, which turned into a soul shock, sweeping across the field in waves.